Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. We are on location. We are with Linda Roberts, Executive Director at Aston Gardens at Tampa Bay, who I've had a wonderful chance to pre-interview and just getting to know you in just a matter of seconds. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You exude happiness, positivity, and I'm guessing that that's what your residents are looking for when they join you.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been involved?
Well, let's see. I've been in the senior living business about 15 years now, a little over. Been with Discovery Senior Living for 8 years. Been here at the Tampa community for a couple of years, so I'm loving it. It's a great, great community, great team members, amazing residents. We have a lot of fun here.
Sounds like you have a little bit of experience.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
So what are the highlights of being in the position that you have here, that you work directly with your residents and your staff?
Well, we obviously love our residents, love our staff. We do a lot of training and promoting from within. We have, I tell our team members, listen, I don't like the word no. Don't say the word no. It's a negative word. Let's see what we can do. Let's always think outside the box. Let's try to be yes people instead of no people. So we really do like to train our team to be that way to all of our residents.
That really hit my heart when you said that earlier, because there is a lot of negativity out there in the world, and to be able to join in a facility that basically it's positive and you get yes. I love to get my own way. How about you? And this is really perfect too for the residents that are coming in here. Now, you were also talking about that being one element that separates you from other facilities. And there's plenty of wonderful facilities out there, but you like to step out of the box and you like to do things your way that works.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure, absolutely. So we have team members and they come to join us, and we interview everyone. I interview them, talk to them. I actually give them a little Mickey Mouse story about how, long story short, how people go to Disney World. They spend a lot of money to go to Disney World, and they expect to see every cast member smiling. They expect to see them with their name badges on. They expect to see the grounds all clean. Well, the same thing applies here. We obviously have residents who spend a lot of money to live here, and so they deserve the best housekeeping, the best maintenance, the best care, the best of all we have, food and everything that we have to offer. So it's all about being the best.
No, and I love to hear that. That's just like music to our ears. You know, Lori, who is wonderful in the marketing.
Sales, yes.
Oh, she is just fantastic, and she was giving me a little bit of a heads up too. And here's a little view of the facility, which I understand you're also in the process of renovating, remodeling, and all of that. Yeah.
I've been here 19 years, so we're getting some major renovations, getting rid of wallpaper and new carpet, and it'll be a beautiful, I mean, it's gorgeous now, but it'll be even better.
I was just going to say, it's beautiful here.
Most people say that.
I was in the ladies' restroom, and I'm going, oh, they must have already started in here. No? That's outdated?
We're going to renovate. Yes,
wow,
it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. We'll have I'll invite you back for our grand reopening.
Yes.
And yes, we're going to be doing a major clubhouse renovation, getting ready to pave the parking lot, getting ready to paint the building. So it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when it's all done.
Oh, I can imagine, because it's lovely right now.
We're super excited.
Talking about the clubhouse and talking about the activities, because I know if I was thinking of joining a place like this, not that I'm anywhere near that, hopefully, but if you have a family member, think about what you can get involved with. It's not mandatory or anything, but what kind of activities do you have here?
We have all kinds of events. We celebrate our residents. We do topics that are entertaining to them. We try to talk to our residents and find out what it is that they like. What do they like to do? We try to do some outside activities, obviously, and events, and take them to shows and things like that. But we also try to bring a lot of events here into the community, entertainers, and they just love having it here at their home.
Let's talk about the entertainers. Who do you have coming in for an entertainer, just for the heck of it?
Well, let's see. There's a lot of local entertainers that come and entertain, and we try to do our best to make sure that they're top notch, and we try to do it at our independent living as well as our assisted living and our memory care, so that everybody is touched. We actually have some famous folks living here. go into too many details.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah, so we have some neat folks that entertain for our own residents.
I was just going to say, so you have them entertain. That's even cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very nice. And so exercise programs, how about that?
We're actually renovating our wellness center and going to make it and use HUR equipment. It's spelled HUR. It's senior friendly, allows them to sit down and everything is adjusted for them. So it's a great way for them to get engaged and have their own fitness teacher. It's going to be electronic and digital and everything like that. So it'll be a lot of fun for them to actually work out and get engaged in their own health. So it's all about staying healthy, obviously.
It really is, especially when we add years to our life. What's the age group?
They're in the 80s, 70s here at Tampa Bay, obviously at the assisted living. They can be a little older. We have some folks obviously in their 90s there. We even celebrate our 100-year-old residents. So been getting a younger group in our independent living. Sometimes you even get folks that are in their 70s, early 70s even. So they enjoy living here. We obviously have garages. We have very large apartments here for them to rent. And they're gorgeous. We renovate them, and we have models that folks can come and see. So they are more than welcome to stop by any time and check out our models. They're absolutely gorgeous, renovated, beautiful.
Your heart is just coming through, your whole demeanor, and you can tell that you love what you do.
I do.
Now, you've been a member with the Chamber, right? The Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. And how long and what has it done for you?
Well, it's the best chamber I've ever been associated with. When I came here, I couldn't believe it, how many people actually come to the chamber. We host it every other Friday morning. We love hosting it, and so we really get a lot out of it. It's a great networking event and for people to come to, and I really encourage those professionals in the area to come to the chamber, join the chamber, get involved. You'll meet so many great people. I have people actually have even helped us in what we do, because obviously we meet entertainers, we can use them here at the community. We meet electricians and we meet folks that do air conditioning. So it's great. It gives us local folks that we can hire to help us.
Absolutely, and that is the one thing, is everyone engages. It's like one big happy family with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber. They are involved everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, even in my personal time, I run into people that knows people from the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and that's when I have to give my blurb about we do a show with them too, because this is a great way to raise awareness to you. Did you know that Aston Gardens actually existed? And if you did, have you heard anything about it? You might want to come here. And can somebody come here and do like a tour?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Come anytime. You can even walk in and just let us know you want to see the apartments and everything like that. We'll be happy to show them around the clubhouse, explain everything that we do here. A lot of folks don't know about it. A lot of folks, my friends included, will say, Linda, why do you like working with old people? And I try to explain that I absolutely love what I do. I had aunts and uncles that were older, and I just love hugging on them, because a lot of them remind me of my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, and things like that. So I really have a good time, engaged with them, and there's a lot to do here, and people just don't realize it. We have transportation also. We have security. We have a lot going on.
Field trips?
Absolutely.
Great.
Mystery trips.
Mystery.
Those are always really popular.
I guess. They don't know
figured
where they're
that.
going?
I usually like to know where I'm going, but
can I go?
they all love it. They love mystery trips.
I bet.
At all the communities, they love the mystery trips.
That's really
very
fabulous.
popular.
So I have to say, I could sit and talk with you all day. We have just about a minute and a half remaining. Excuse me. But you've been in this business for a good little while, so you've got a good feel for it. But on a personal level, what you were just saying about working with the seniors, I mean, these are seniors, okay? We had talked just briefly about bridging that gap with the younger generations and the seniors, and how, I mean, Lori and I were talking about that too. And sometimes there's a misengagement there. But when you can appreciate the knowledge from the seniors, maybe their short-term memory isn't all that great, but man, they are right on par when they want to talk about their stories from, being in the service, or when they were raising their families, or, whatever it might be.
It's definitely one of the best parts of the the job. I say I get paid to sit down and talk to residents and get to know them and their life history, and our military guys we just celebrate our military all the time here at the communities, and we have meetings once a month. We do the Pledge of Allegiance. We just have a moment of silence for our military, and we certainly love sitting down with our residents and talking. And I tell people, pinch me, I get paid to do this. It's amazing.
That's
really great thing.
I love to hear that. And talking about the military, I'm very strong about that too. Our Tampa Bay Multimedia with Chamber TV is just, we want to keep that going through the airwaves, and so to hear a facility is that's who our seniors are. And I've noticed that when we've gone to various senior living facilities, that they love that. In their little apartment doors, they'll maybe have their medals out there, and that's just so beautiful because you're engaging at a personal level with them, and that is so important. So important. And then they spread the word, and then it gets out there even more.
Absolutely. And Tampa's a military town. We all love our military here.
Yes,
so we celebrate them all over.
There's a lot of celebrations everywhere.
Absolutely.
So it's great to see that you're involved with that. Do you have a favorite thing? I know that's a loaded question. We'll be here all day, right?
We could be here all day. Actually, we have an amazing pastry chef. She used to be with Burns Steakhouse, so that explains, my little belly.
So that's your favorite thing.
That's my favorite thing here. She has an amazing dessert here, and the residents love her and love it. And Gloria does an amazing job. Not many places have pastry chefs. So we're very blessed. Not many communities have a pastry chef, and we're very, very blessed to have one. And our desserts are first class.
Sounds pretty sweet to me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you. We'll be right back in just a little bit with My Chamber TV featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community, and today we are featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and I am your host for this show, and I'm excited to have Gerald Jacobs back again under a different banner today as author extraordinaire.
Indeed.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Barbara.
This is quite an accomplishment, isn't it?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the book was in me for a lot of years, and I had planned on writing this, And the time just wasn't exactly right for all sorts of reasons. One, I didn't have the time. But now, since I've finally, after 30 plus years, decided to retire from the real estate business, I had time on my hands so that I could do this.
A lot of time from the real estate business.
Yeah.
Once you retire from that.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. It's the title on this is You Can Be a Networking Maniac. That really rung a bell because there's so much out there in networking, and the digital age is it not changing day by day?
It seems like everything's changing faster and faster the older that I get.
That's
But
true.
this book is about the things that we learn and do at the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, which is a lot of emphasis is on relationship networking for sales and marketing people. And that's what the book is about. It shows a step-by-step path for relationship networking for sales and marketing people. And it's written in the form of a novel, and the lessons are built into the storyline. The book goes into detail on how and why relationship networking works so well.
You just triggered something because over the years I have been networking. I had a networking group that I shared with some other people,
Yeah.
and I just feel that things are going back to the way it kind of used to be for good reasons in building relationships. Did you find that as part of a motivation? Because I know that the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber is all about relationship buildings,
Right.
old-fashioned handshakes, one-on-one, meeting people from face to face instead of this, right?
Exactly.
So tell me, what motivated you? What was your inspiration to do this book?
Well, I had a lot of time on my hands, and this has been in my mind for a long time. There was a time a few years ago, we had a local magazine in this area that I did write a column for. So I've got some experience at writing. I did like 500 words about once a month for about 2 years for them. And I knew that I wanted to write and that I had something to say. And I wanted to share my experiences, not just with the Chamber of Commerce, which was the prime motivator here, but relationship building was a key to my success in the real estate business. So we're all about believing that it's all about the relationships at the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. And these are the words and the deeds of what that gets you as far as your career doing sales and marketing work.
So basically, you're taking success and you're sharing some of your secrets to the success that actually worked for you in real estate. And real estate can be like up and down and crazy, right?
Oh, sure.
So let me ask you this. Did you have to learn something about yourself?
I'm still learning things about myself. And some of them are good, and some of them are things that one wants to overcome.
Good for you. We all are, right? Life's a learning.
Hopefully.
It is a learning experience, that's for sure. So was it hard to write?
Really, the writing of the book was the easiest part. The first thing that I did is I spent about 3 solid months learning about how to write a book. There's more information you can possibly handle on the internet. As you well know, we've got just access to more information than we can possibly absorb. So I spent several months just reading about writing books. Most of it is geared towards nonfiction. Towards fiction. And I want to write nonfiction. This book was nonfiction. Well, back sometime in the later future, I might write fiction. And once I started writing the book, I found that that was actually the easiest part. It was after I'd written the first draft that all the serious and difficult stuff started coming into play. Editing the book was challenging. You can't really edit your own material very well. You're just too close to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you are. So I have people that are known as beta readers, and there are people who will read my rough drafts and get their red pens out and circle all the typos and the misspellings and everything else. And it's amazing how many times you go through a book like this. It's only about 175 pages. We're still finding errors in here. I mean, it's, you know, you say, how can this be? In fact, my wife said once we got the first final draft, the author's version of the book, she was looking through there and she's saying, I can't believe that this was in your original. I know we checked this. I know I circled all of these. It can't be in the original copy. So we dragged out the original copy, and sure enough, there it was. And after reading it 10 times, neither one of us nor any of my beta readers had seen some of this stuff. And I got to tell you, I've got 2 spell checks and 2 grammar checks. That didn't find it either. So much for how good those applications were.
I was going to say that. So how did you get it published?
Well, unless your name is Brad Thor or David Baldacci, publishers aren't going to talk to you. You're a nobody, and they're not going to take a chance on somebody that nobody's ever heard of. So the big trend in publishing these days is called indie publishing. And independent people are putting out thousands and tens of thousands of books every single year, this being one of them. The Amazon Publishing, is now called KDP, it gives you a lot of information, gives you a lot of help. They even help you with things like picking out your cover art and what goes on the back of the book, and things that you never even think about, like how big is your spine? The words have got to fit on there. If you make them too big, they kind of slop over onto here. Well, how do you figure out what in the world your spine height, width, length, whatever is? There's a formula for that. So they teach you these things. And when you start getting into this publishing aspect of it, formatting the book is a whole learning experience in its own.
In itself.
Oh, yeah. As for instance, page 1 of the book needs to be on the right-hand side. Okay?
Why is that?
I have no idea. I'm just following directions.
Just following the rules, right?
Yeah. But then you got to learn all these publishing words, like, right? There's front matter and back matter and gutters and widows and orphans. I had no idea what any of this stuff meant, so it takes time to learn about it. Front matter is everything that comes before page 1. Okay, it'll be the dedication, the table of contents, blah, 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 blah. Back matter is everything that comes after page last. Things like acknowledgments, bibliographies, and all that. But somebody's got to tell you what the definition of the word is. So learning how to format the book and making it come out so that it looks professional took as much time and as much learning as writing a book did.
I was just going to say, just learning the verbiage
Yeah.
to figure out what, when, who, where do I do all this? Yeah.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
It was not
So
at
when did
all what I had in mind. I just wanted to write a book.
I know. What's the big issue? How hard can that be, right?
Yeah. It was the easiest part, no kidding.
Yeah, because it was in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the easiest part. And then to get it delivered in the proper format and all this and that. So when did you actually start writing the book?
I started actually physically putting words on the computer in, I think, May of last year, 2019.
That's not so bad.
Well,
It's not, I mean,
I finished it in about 4 months, the first draft. So I laid it out, outlined it, did all the things I needed to do to plan the book, and wrote it, and then rewrote it, and edited it. And then about November, Kindle Publishing published the author's copy, so I could go through it and go, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? How did I misspell that word? Or things like spell checks can't help you with, like the word form or from. It's one typo away, and they're both words, so spell check doesn't catch that.
you know, this is really good education. In case you're thinking of writing a book, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Sharing this, we have about 3 minutes or so.
Okay.
But
Should I talk faster?
No, I just want to make sure that I get in a little bit more of the content of the book.
Okay.
Because for anybody, young at heart, if you're in business out there, if you're a member of our chamber that we're featuring today, the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, or any other chamber, and you're thinking of writing a book, maybe you've thought of writing a book many years ago, there's a lot to it, and there's no time like the present time, as we were talking about just before the show, to getting it done. But there's a lot more in it. Think about what you want to write. To me, it sounds like this is something very passionate. For a business owner, we know that networking is key. Even if you're involved with any charities or not-for-profits, if you're, wanting to do something to give back to the community, the knowledge that you put in here, this is just my belief system, you want it to be compelling.
Absolutely.
You want it to work for people, And that's one reason why you put your heart into it. Now, before we close this segment, can you give us a few little tips that a business owner might have? Maybe they've just joined the chamber. Now, you've been with the chamber for a good little while, right?
15, 18, 19 years,
Yeah,
yes.
that's all.
Yeah.
A little bit of experience. So can you give us some of the biggest spotlighted points in here?
Sure. It's all about the relationships. Okay.
Gotcha.
When it comes to developing your business and getting new business, do you think that you would stand a better chance of going out and knocking on some stranger's door and say, hey, would you want to buy my widget? Or would you like this great service I have? Or do you think it would be a better idea to go to the people that know you, love you, and trust you and ask them, can you help me out? Whenever you hear of a friend or a family member or a neighbor that has use for my services, would you mind giving me a call and let me know who they are? Now, where do you think you would get the most business from?
Exactly.
It's as simple as that.
Exactly. And I just want to go back to what we were saying with how many years you've had in the real estate business.
30 plus.
30 plus years. Well, this is a few
It's
years
a
in the
living.
business. A little bit, right. So, that being said, I just wanted to connect the two. So, you're very validated in writing a book like this because you took what worked for you, being a member of the Chamber of Commerce, the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and the experience in real estate, and you're now wanting to give back because we said earlier it wouldn't be right if you just kept all this successful information inside.
It essentially would be wasted.
Yes.
But what's interesting about this is the stuff that I learned early in my career and developed and worked at and taught myself and learned about well before I'd ever discovered the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. And coincidentally, and this is one of the reasons I've been with the Chamber all of these years, is because they believe what I had already learned.
And there was a match of enthusiasm right there. I gotta tell you, and you can get the book on Amazon, right?
On Amazon.
On Amazon. So we're down in the last few seconds here. I want to thank you so much. Congratulations.
It's been my pleasure.
I know this is going to be a hot
Thank you.
seller. All right. And you
I
can
hope
get
so.
it on Amazon. The name of the book is You Can Be a Networking Maniac. Go for it. We'll see you back after
All right.
this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the community in Tampa Bay. And today we're featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. And I'm very excited with new business owners, especially when they know enough to join the chamber. Jason Nastasi with Express Oil Change Tire Engineers. I want to say engineers because you do everything. You do it all.
We do it all, yes.
So tell me all about it.
So the concept is fantastic. It's one-stop shopping for all your automotive needs. Basically, you can come in, if you just want a 10-minute oil change, you can get that. It's in, it's out. We engage the customer, we educate the customer, and we let you make the decision. It's your car. We're not here to sell you. Or if you need other work, you need full mechanical work or full tires, we can do all those services as well.
Perfect. So I understand you've been in the auto repair business for 12 years, so you've got a little experience, huh?
I have. I grew up in it, went into it right out of college.
Really?
Yeah.
So let me you have to tell the story. Did you tinker with cars when you were a little kid?
I did.
I knew it.
I did. I grew up in a car family. So my mom and dad both work on cars, love cars. My grandpa used to own body shops and car dealers. So kind of in the blood. And when I got out of school, I figured I wanted to do something that I love to do.
Oh, see, and to me, that's really the success of a good business owner, that you're doing what you love to do, so it doesn't seem like work. Do you find that you put more care into it when you're doing something that you love? It's like your passion?
Absolutely. It's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
It's just having fun. You know, I get to meet new people every day. I get to have new challenges that I get to overcome every day with people's cars. We see every car on the road. So every day is different, every person's different, every situation's different. So that's the fun part to it.
Yeah, it keeps you going.
Absolutely.
Keeps you going. It challenges you to come up with maybe some new repairs and staying on task and that type of thing. Now, I understand that you work on foreign cars as well.
We do.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So you have mechanics that can work on site, like my BMW.
Absolutely. BMW, Mercedes, my master tech, he's a young guy. He's a L1 certified technician, which basically means he's a master tech. And then all my guys that actually work in the business, whether they're the guy that works in the pit, all the way to my master technician, they all have to be ASE certified in at least some aspect. And if I hire you and you don't have them, you have about 6 months to get an ASE certification with us.
Okay.
We want to make sure we foster education with our employees because we want them to grow as people as well. They're not just here for a job.
So let me ask you something, and this may be my ignorant moment here, and I do have them once in a while. So are all repair shops not equal in that sense? Do they not all have to have a certification?
No, you're not required to have an ASE certified technician. It's an industry standard. It's something I feel very strongly about because of the education factor. Because cars are changing every day. I mean, look at just in the past, you know, you could say 20 years, but we could say 5 years how much cars have changed.
Yes.
That ASE certification allows for the continuing education for our employees. That way we know that they're coming out and they have the knowledge and skills to work on these cars.
Now see, that wasn't an ignorant question after all.
No, no, it wasn't.
Did you know that? Did you know that you can't go into any auto repair and assume that they have the education that is required to work on your car? It's almost like a practice.
Absolutely.
They're practicing,
Yeah.
right? Right? So I understand about certifications. So you have your nose to the grindstone in studies, and I love the fact, it's just like the digital age, right?
Yep.
That changes on a day-to-day basis with their cell phones and computers, all of that stuff. So to know that your people are all certified, I'm guessing that that gives me a really solid comfort zone. But in addition to that, going back to relationships, we've been talking about the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, building the relationships from honesty, integrity, and transparency. Now, as a female, the last place I ever want to go is to walk in with my car, and I don't care, I'm just being brutally honest, and I know there's many of you out there that agree, to walk into a dealership or a car repair.
Absolutely.
It's
And
awful.
most people have a horrible viewpoint of automotive repair. In fact, I think I read a study that you'd rather go to the dentist than come to an auto repair facility. We take that to heart. So I understand that over 65% of my customers are stay-at-home moms. We've engineered our store to cater to that. So when we say honesty and integrity, my guys greet you on the lot. So if you're coming in for an oil change, you'll never get out of your car. So if you have kids in the car, you have the dog in the car or whatever, they're going to greet you really nice, find out what your needs are. If it's an oil change, they're going to guide you over there. You're going to drive over the pit, and you're part of the entire process. You can see everything we're doing. You can hear all our call outs. So there's no surprises. It's the car doesn't go behind a wall and then a big guy like me comes out and says, well, you now owe me $1,000. We don't have that. You are part of the process. All the way to the point where you help us safety your own vehicle out. We show you your oil dipstick. We want to teach you how to read the dipstick. And we feel that empowers our customers.
That is empowerment, and you just answered my questions, because I know that our viewers will have questions like that too. Now, you're not even open yet?
No, we should be open in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome.
So we're very excited. We have there's a couple corporate locations in the area, but we're going to be the only one in Oldsmar. And we are the only shop like us that exists. So you have some shops that are just quick lube and they do minor services, or you have other shops that are full auto repair, but they don't have that quick lube option. So for us, we have both. And that's what's so great about it. That's why there's no pressure on our sales. My guys that are talking to you, they're not going to pressure you, because if you just need that 10-minute oil change and you're running errands, great. We're completely happy with that. And we're still going to check your car. We're going to still top all the fluids off. We're going to still do everything we need to do. And then we get you right back on the road. And then when you're ready for those big repairs or other maintenance items, bring it back to us when you have time.
Because the thing is that we're not born with any kind of a guidebook when it comes to car repairs. And I mean, I do all the girly things, and I know there's a lot of women out there that know their cars, and that's just not one of my wheelhouses. So I've got to rely on somebody that is in that area of honest auto repair. Makes sense to you too? I'm going to just tell a nightmare story that happened to me with my BMW. I was told that my air conditioner needed to be fixed to the tune of $3,000. Well, my son is in the business of, he sells cars and he has his own repair. So anyway, long story short, we shipped my car, flatbedded it up to his place up in Gainesville, and come to find out, it was an $80 part.
Yep.
That is the kind of nightmare stories that I share, because it's not necessary to be that way. Just because you're driving a high-end car or whatever doesn't mean that you do have all that money, or you choose to spend all that money for a fake repair.
Well, and at the end of the day, in Tampa, we have over 5.5 million cars in the Tampa Bay area.
Sure.
We don't need to lie, steal, or cheat to make our money.
No.
We just need to be honest. And if I can get 1% of the cars in Tampa, I have more work than my shop can handle.
See?
Even at that. So there's no reason to have these crazy repairs. And I absolutely don't, I despise hearing stories like that, because it's that one person is the reason the rest of our industry has the stigma that we have on it. Whereas for us, we just be honest. It's all about safety. If you're in it for the right reason, we're in it for safety.
Yes.
And even if that driver's not concerned about their safety or their car safety, I have to be, because that driver's on the road with my family, my friends, just anybody else out there, and I would feel horrible if that car was involved in an accident and that driver was unaware of the danger. I can't force them to fix their car, but I can certainly give them the tools and the information that they need to know to have the car fixed.
And that honesty really, Jason, goes a long, long way, and it goes right back to building those relationships, because when you come from honesty and you share just what you're telling us here today, I want to come to you. I want to bring my car to you because of just exactly what you're saying, what you're trying to do in the community. And did I understand you correctly where you said you're the only auto repair in the Oldsmar area that does what you do full out? I mean, total car repair.
Yep, with the quick lube attachment to it. So they have other shops that are full auto repair, but they don't have that 10-minute quick lube to them. An oil change is going to take you an hour, hour and a half.
Right.
For us, that's what having the best of both worlds is.
So that's like one-stop shop for your car repair. Hey, that works for me. How about you guys? With a few minutes remaining, I want to ask you about the chamber.
Yep.
Now, you're a new business that you're ready to open up, brand spanking new in Oldsmar. Tell us where you're located, and then I want to talk about how the Chamber's helped you out.
So we're located on the corner of Tampa Road and Commerce. We're right next to the Learning Experience and Auto Styles right there. We share a parking lot with them.
Okay.
And the Chamber's been tremendous for us. I came into this community about 6 months ago and didn't know anybody. I went to a random chamber meeting. In fact, I didn't even go to a chamber meeting first off. I called somebody and I said, hey, we're having a groundbreaking ceremony. And we didn't know what else to do. So we did our groundbreaking. I set up a couple of tents and I had some chairs and some food, and I didn't know if it was just going to be me and my contractor sitting out there with some gold shovels and a photo op. I really didn't know. And we had like 30 people show up. We had people from city council show up. We had chamber members show up. We had an aide from somebody out of Tallahassee show up. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm sitting here, we're setting up for this, and we just see cars coming in. And it was like, why are all these people here? And to find out it was a chamber that did it for us.
Oh, wow.
And they've been instrumental in helping us with everything with the city through the building process, to getting us completely integrated in the community. I have people now that I'm not even open and they call me for auto advice.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm going to be calling you. This is so exciting. Well, for the longest time, we weren't seeing any kind of groundbreaking ceremonies here in this area. Now business is booming, so unbelievable, not just in the housing industry, but in businesses as well.
Yeah.
So no wonder so many people showed up. I mean, those shovels were getting rusty. I hadn't seen any cement trucks or building materials in years, and I've been a licensed realtor for 36 years. So it does my heart good to see the boom in the industry, in all the industries. I mean, it's affecting everybody's business. And the more people that are moving here to Florida, my goodness, we need to have our cars running.
Absolutely.
So
you have to have a car in Tampa.
Yeah, you really do. And I tell you, this is so exciting. So you joined the chamber and they did a groundbreaking ceremony for you. How fun is that?
Yep, and I've been a part of it ever since. I go to about 2 or 3 events of them almost every week.
Yeah, good.
I've met lots of local business owners and a lot of networking going on. They've just been wonderful. I mean, they're absolutely probably one of the best chambers I've ever been involved with.
I have to agree with you. I love the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and believe me, if you want to get involved, you need to check them out. But I also want to say, if you are a little bit sketchy on going into any auto repair shop, I want you to try Jason Nastasi and his new business that's opening up, the only one like it, in the Oldsmar area. You don't have to live in Oldsmar to go there. I don't, and I'm going to check him out. Express Oil Change Tire Engineers, because that's what they are, and very honest and trustworthy. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us because we are featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. And we're in our final segment here, and we are introducing Jerry Custin and Doug Bevis to sort of have a changing of the guard here, so to speak, right?
Yes, we are.
Veterans with the Chamber of Commerce for 20 years, both of you. You have been involved. Doug, you've been on the show before.
Yep.
And my dear friend Jerry, you've been actually one of our co-hosts for a good number
Quite
of
a while.
years. Yes.
Yeah, quite a while.
So
been a lot of fun.
what's happening? You're
Well,
stepping out, but not really down. You're still going to be on a volunteer basis.
Yeah, what I'm going to do, Doug is going to take over all the stuff we do with the city, business assistance, the We Mean Business, My Chamber TV, economic development, those kinds of things. I'm going to stay with the manufacturing group, the Tampa Bay Works, the stuff we're doing there for workforce development, our education foundation, and I'm on another couple boards now too. One, a county-wide board called the Community Veterans Engagement Board, which I'll be spending a lot of time with. So I'll have plenty to do.
Yes, you will. And you've been a vet for, gosh, you're a veteran, and thank you for your service.
30 years, yeah.
You know, I have to tell you, I'm so impressed with the community involvement that you have done, and with the whole staff, really, with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, really getting involved in this community. I've never seen anything like it until I started hosting My Chamber TV, and that's one of the reasons why we do this, is so we can educate you on what's happening. If you're a business owner, if you know of a business owner, or you're an entrepreneur and you live in the Oldsmar, Tampa Bay area, you definitely want to check this chamber out. Let's go back to these guys to find out even more of what's coming up. And congratulations on the many years. And Doug, I look forward to hosting with you.
Doug will be a lot of fun for you.
I'm a little nervous, yeah.
Oh,
And,
sure.
Doug is never nervous.
No, it's an honor to follow behind Jerry, and the city gave him a proclamation the other night, which was so fitting, and in typical Jerry Custin fashion, you know, the whole deal was about him, and what does he do when he gets up there to thank everybody, as he turns it completely around and really thanks the community and the people, and kind of deflects off of himself, and that's just the kind of the person he is. And so Jerry Peruzzi from the chamber came to me while I was still mayor of the city and talked to me about, you know, maybe taking on this role. And I've known Jerry for a long time, known his son-in-law for a long time, been involved with the chamber. And I told him, and he and I talked recently, I said I didn't want to be that guy perceived as pushing Jerry out. And he and I had a very nice talk about the transition, and, you know, with the connections that I have in the government affairs side of it, much like Jerry has, I think it's going to be great. You know, he's very passionate about the manufacturers, very passionate about the education, very passionate about Gus Bilirakis, and so he's going to be just fine, and he's going to be able to focus on the things that he has on his plate, but he's still going to be there, I think, for us if we need any help. So I look forward to it for sure.
Oh, I do too. And there's no such thing as retirement with you.
No, there isn't.
I know
No,
that.
ain't
I
happening.
know.
I've heard of it.
When I saw the word, I'm going, yeah, I don't think so. But
ain't
just
happening.
a changing of the guards, and just, you know, well, and I mean, you were mayor for 6 years.
Yeah.
And so you've got a lot of that experience, and with the fact that the both of you have worked together for 20 years, right?
Yep.
In and out of the chamber, in the community, and making things happen. So I'm guessing that maybe you think alike.
Oh, we do.
We both have the passion of the city and the community and the businesses at heart, and it did me proud, and I'm sure it did Jerry, as we sat here through these segments today, to listen to the great things about the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. We think we're great, but when you hear it from other people that are chamber members, and then even from outside the chamber, it's really nice to know, and we try and share that with the community and the businesses. So, and he's a big part of that.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I think one thing that summarizes it all, it's all in one word, and that's what I used to tell the board of directors. Yeah, we do a lot of things with a lot of people and everything else, but it all boils down to one word, and that's relationships.
Yes.
And if those relationships are not based on trust and integrity, then everything else you do is blowing smoke.
You're right.
So the whole thing that this chamber is based on is that relationship building based on trust.
Yes.
Whether it's business to business, whether it's business to government, whether it's person to person, regardless of what level, regardless of how complex it is, it all has to start with that foundation of trust.
Gosh, that is so true. And we were interviewing our business owners earlier, and it is all about that.
Yeah.
Do you gentlemen feel that there was times in business over the years where the relationship building kind of went over here and went over there? It wasn't as important to some, and I don't mean that to throw anybody under the bus, but you know who is passionate about what they're doing, and passion is the key word.
Well, I had trouble dealing with that because, like I said, I'm 30 years in the military, and I come into this, and I'm not a business guy by nature, and I'm not a networker by nature, and that's what I had to do is I had to think about. This is networking, and networking is generally handing somebody your business card and say, "What can I do for you? This is what I do." It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
And it's not just handing out cards. The other thing is not. We know there's some other professional organizations that do networking and leads and all the other kind of stuff. And the way that we understand that they do it is you have to attend a meeting, and if you don't attend a meeting, you may get thrown out. And if you don't bring a certain amount of leads in, you may get thrown out. And you can only have one business of one type, or you get thrown out. Ours is wide open. We don't have any rules like that. Do you want to have 5 realtors? It doesn't matter. Okay? And if you don't make a meeting, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do when you are at that meeting.
You know, and I love that philosophy because when I left my one job of 15 years and I decided, well, let me see what this networking is in the community. Right. And I would attend and I would go, wait a minute, what do you mean you can only have one realtor or one this or that? That doesn't make any sense. We're in a community. And what one person may feel working with one realtor, they may not with the other realtor,
right.
Or whatever, manufacturing business. Right. If you were only to have, where would you be today
right.
with one whatever?
Yeah, exactly. So that's ours. We just open it up, and the way I always like to say it is we're the cheers chamber. When somebody comes into the room, I want everybody to turn around and say, "Hey, Norm." And that's the feeling that we try to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's really my honor to interview both of you guys as we have the changing of the guards to some degree because of the knowledge and what you've done in the community. Can you give us some highlights over the years that you've been working together? Just whatever comes from your heart, on the top of your head.
Well, I don't know, Doug. I think the main thing we would do is events. We've had some really good events, and I think those are community building activities for sure.
Yeah, and I think Jerry touched on it a little bit about different types of chambers, and we're not about the bottom dollar and making money for the chamber to keep us alive. If we provide a good product both to our members and our non-members through community events and community outreach, that's really and it's funny because as being mayor. And Jerry Peruzzi, who's the CEO, will tell you, they're getting ready to put on Oldsmar Days at the end of March, and they don't take the credit. The chamber doesn't take the credit that they should for that. Really, the city winds up not taking the credit by default, getting the credit, but it's really the chamber, and they're fine with that.
Yes.
And you had talked to Gerald Jacobs earlier about how networking has really changed. It kind of went one way, and now it's kind of the pendulum is coming back the other way, and how important. I'm a realtor as well, and we have 256 realtors in our office, and it's actually powerful because we learn from each other, and I think that applies to any business that we have, and we're not afraid of that. And I don't know everything. He doesn't know everything. We don't know.
No.
And that's what the chamber tries to do, is bring people together through our different networking groups that we have, whether it's the ones in the morning at this facility here, or in the evening at a facility, or if it's going to be at the oil change, as he said about the turnout. So it's really about community and, as Jerry says, relationships.
And actually, I am one of the few guys that really does know everything. I just can't remember it all at one time. So.
I love it. Yes. That's great. Well, I'll tell you, we just have a few minutes remaining. Anything else that I know we could be here all day and all night talking about the great things, and I know the events are wonderful. I love Oldsmar Days.
It's
because
great.
there's just so. Tell everybody a little bit more about Oldsmar Days. What to expect the end of March, because you can start planning from like right now.
Well, we do, it'll be a 3-day event as it always is, and we have great bands, a lot of great vendors. The other thing that's unique about that, we do Oldsmar's only annual parade, and we work with the Oldsmobile Club of Florida and the Oldsmobile Club of America. So we'll have a good 30, 35 Olds out there. We do car shows with it. What we say is classic rock, classic cars, classic Florida, and you know it's really a beautiful event.
It is a beautiful event.
So we
Lots
love
of
that.
food.
Oh yeah, lots of great food.
And what's great about it is it's right in the heart of the community.
Yes.
Oldsmar named after Ransom E. Olds, the founder of the Oldsmobile, and we kind of, Tampa Road divides kind of the newer Oldsmar on the north side, but the older Oldsmar with, you know, homes from the early 1900s. And I mean, the parade and the whole event is right there in the community, and, you know, people bring their kids and their golf carts, and it's free to get in. And so it's right at the top of Tampa Bay, and it's a beautiful venue, and we really are proud of the event that we have and that the Chamber puts on.
And those of us, I mean, it's you know, it's a lot of work to do it, but you sit there and you see all the people having fun with their kids and everything else, and then that sun setting on the bay, you just say, how can it get any better?
I know.
It doesn't get any better.
That is so exciting.
We make Safety Harbor so jealous it's not even funny.
You had to get that in there, didn't you? Well, you know, it's just such an honor. I had no idea the pulse, the heartbeat of the community until I started hosting this Chamber show. And I love it because I think you, as maybe a new resident coming to Oldsmar, or even a seasoned resident, you've lived here for a while, and maybe this is the first time you're watching My Chamber TV, and we are right here at Aston Gardens in Tampa. It's a wonderful facility here that
Yes, it
has
is.
the same pulse and the same heartbeat as our philosophy with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and the engagement and the relationship building. I don't think there's been one time that I have not been in your presence where you have not said relationships.
Relationships, yeah, that's worth
One word. And that's really what I want to leave you with today in this last minute. Doug, you'll be hosting with me next month?
I think so, yes.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So we'll figure out where we are, because we're usually on location with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber. And again, we're hosting today from Aston Gardens. And Jerry, I know I'm going to be seeing you around in the
Oh,
neighborhood,
yeah.
because you're not, there's
I'm
no
not
such
quitting.
No.
thing as retiring. You've
just-
got too much heart
Yep.
to really, stop. And you
and
have
I-
so much good, and yeah, it's fun.
And I don't have a bucket list.
And you don't have a bucket
I don't
list.
have a bucket list.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I'm
me
doing
neither.
everything I want to do.
Exactly.
right? I'm alive. We're alive.
Exactly.
We're able to give back into the
Yep.
community.
Every day
And
above dirt.
Every day.
Exactly.
Oh, every day above dirt. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Tomorrow just isn't promised. So do what you can today in building relationships with not only your family and friends, but also members in the community. You can make a difference. And we've certainly had business owners here today that shows up with their honesty, integrity, and transparency. We have great author Gerald that came on and talked about networking, and really networking from the heart. So thanks for joining us on My Chamber TV.